Hello and welcome. Vancouver is a city known for its natural beauty, bustling urban life, and its vibrant culture. But did you know that Vancouver had an electric interurban railway system all the way back in 1891 till 1958? Now, for me personally, that is insane. Electric back in that time period. And I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't hear about it because BC Transit probably wants you to forget about it. Join me as we explore the interurban and its interesting and fascinating history. In 1881, Vancouver and its surrounding area began to see an uprise in population and urban growth. The interurban railway system was developed because there was an increasing need for efficient transportation. From 1891 to 1958, Vancouver's interurban railway served everyone it touched. It was a very ahead of its time and insanely efficient mode of transportation, spanning all the way to Vancouver, Steveston, and even Chilliwack. I went to a local community garden here in Cedar Cottage, and it's a garden near Trent Lake, where the Central Park line used to run through. And a really cool detail I noticed was that when I was at this garden, it was sort of a historical site because there's a little sign talking about a really cool thing that happened there, and it's related to the interurban, but I'm not going to get into it here, but I recommend you check it out. So you're probably asking yourself, how was the interurban good for economic growth? So because the line was running through Commercial, shops started popping up everywhere down Commercial, and that's why Commercial is so big, right? And it explains why Commercial is in such a weird spot in Vancouver, yet it's still popular. And the reason why it was popular is tourism. That's a major point here. Lots of tourists came to Commercial because it was a lot more accessible because of these lines. Now, why would they get rid of these lines when it was so great for the economy back then? We won't answer that question yet. The railway served as a vital link for trade, tourism, and cultural exchange from all over the lower mainlands. And I mean all over. I haven't really touched on how expansive this line was yet, so let me just break it down for you real quick. There were 5 major lines. 1, the Fraser Valley Line was an insanely large line connecting New Westminster to Chilliwack. Once you reach New Westminster, from that line, it branches off 2 ways. If it turns to the left, you are on the New Westminster-Eburn line that goes all the way till Marpole. Turn right on the Fraser Valley line and you would come to find yourself on the Burnaby Lake line. That line goes all the way till Corral Street. The cool part about the Central Park line is that before 6th Avenue, it shares the same rails as the Burnaby Lake line. And that line goes till 12th Street, where it meets New Westminster Eburn line. The most interesting one to me, though, is the Lulu Island line, which starts on Davie Street and it goes all the way till Steveston. And to me, that is wild because nowadays we don't have a direct way of getting to Steveston. We have to take 2 buses or a SkyTrain and a bus. It's crazy. So to think back in the day they had a direct connection to Steveston is, to me, really crazy. The interurban brought prosperity, allowing agricultural products to reach far greater markets than they would be able to on just horseback or carriage. The rail system became a catalyst for economic growth as businesses thrived in its wake. So, the real question is, why did it stop running? Well, after World War II, the BCER, which stands for the British Columbia Electric Railway Company, now known as BC Hydro, were thinking they need to revamp the transportation system. So, instead of improving upon the rails they already had, the interurban rails, instead they just thought to completely replace them. They started this project called Rails to Rubber, where they started getting rid of a bunch of streetcars and interurbans because trolley buses and personalized cars saw a rise in popularity. But the truth is, they saw lots of money in gas. So they really wanted to capitalize on that by making people obviously purchase it. And then on top of that, they didn't want to spend the money to improve the lines when they can just people to spend their own money on cars. Trolley buses are able to go anywhere, really. I mean, they just need a line. They don't need rail, so it's far more easy, I'd say, to create new paths. So, faithfully, in 1958, the last Interurban ran its course. It was Interurban going from Marple to Steveston, and I actually have a video of it reaching its final destination. And after that, the Interurban service was finished forever. I'm sure you heard about the expanding of the Millennium Line. It's going now all the way to Arbutus, which costs a whopping $2.8 billion. And where does that $2.8 billion come from? You, your money, your pocket. All your tax money is getting dumped into that. But, what if I told you there's a better option? I just told you, $55 million per kilometer of electrified railroad. So why would you not want this Interurban? It's far cheaper, and I did the math. It would only cost $313.5 million. That's it, compared to a massive $2.8 billion. Just think, all that extra money could go towards bike lanes. And you know what's really funny, cool fact? They're actually using the money that was supposed to fund for more bike lanes to actually destroy them. But that's another topic. I have laid it all out for you. You can see that Vancouver City Council doesn't really care about climate change as much as they say based off their actions. But now that I've told you all this, do you believe in the Interurban as much as I do? If you want to stop climate change, you have to advocate for getting this changed. You may not think this, but you have the possibility of changing our future. And if you don't speak up, the consequences could be grim. JJ out.